Am I overusing this?
No.
No, I don't think
For
so.
the day that's
either.
in it.
Because if you ever think you have it hard in work, you'd want to try having run-ins with some angry ghosts, because PJ O'Sullivan and Eva Walsh are from Púca Vogue Paranormal Investigations. And PJ is here to tell us about working in a paranormal world. PJ, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And yourselves?
I'm not too bad at all. We're great. We're kind of a bit...
A happy Halloween to you both.
A happy Halloween to you too, PJ. Is this time of year very busy for you?
You have no idea, because there's 5 of us on the team of Púca Vogue, and we actually only came back in the early hours last night after 3 investigations in 2 castles for the last 3 days.
What were they? Tell us about them.
Yeah, what were you investigating?
So we were in Redwood Castle in Larne and Tipperary on Saturday night. We had a public investigation there, a lockdown public investigation. Oh. Then we went into Sunday night with, again, the team and new guests. And then last night we were over in Lep Castle, again in one of Ireland's claimed most haunted castles, with Witness Ireland, and we had a tour. We had a people in investigation there as well. So quite a busy night with 2 very active castles.
So PJ, do people call you when they have, like, kind of when they are experiencing kind of what they feel are paranormal incidences, and they could call you to come out and have a look?
Absolutely. Like, people would often message in for, they might have activity happening in their home. They might ask us, have we any suggestions to help them out? Or they might send in photographs, ask us to have a look at them, or even get us to guide them on what to do or how to do. Like I always say, I'm not someone that does clearances. We are more about the research and the investigation side. So I don't claim to be medium or anything like that, or neither any of us on the team. But like, gladly we'll help and advise anyone the best we can. It's like everything. When you're dealing with, like, some people might say ghosts, some say spirits. At the end of the day, it's man, woman, whoever the person that's there. You're trying to treat them with respect, but get some answers.
PJ, can I ask you how you got into ghost hunting in the first place?
Yes, so it actually, and funny enough, it's something I often say. Most people that would come, as we do public, private and charity events, we're totally non-profit.
Okay.
We don't make any money. Everything comes out of our pockets.
Okay.
But people that generally would come to us or come on an investigation, they've all had something they've either seen or heard throughout their youth or later in life. And it's usually because sometimes you're afraid to say to someone, don't you come across crazy? And I say, I love a bit of crazy. I'm crazy myself. But
aren't we all?
Then the people that come, because they're now curious. Yeah. Like, if you have someone that experienced something or seen it, they're now curious as to, hang on, there is more to this world. What is there? And they try to come along and try to join us. And that's the thing. We might lead the investigation, but it's everyone's investigation. As I always say, paranormal is for everyone. But generally it's coming from something they either seen or heard at an earlier stage of life.
So did you have experiences yourself when you were younger that made you interested in this kind of thing?
Absolutely. What actually it was myself and a friend, 2 separate minds, 2 separate people. We both were in a room and we both seen, it was late at night, and we both seen something like a see-through shape of a person just run across the bottom of the room. And we actually finished each other's sentence going, did you just see what I saw?
Oh, no.
God. Oh, PJ, I thought there was safety in numbers, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. So
I'm afraid there's no guarantees when you're dealing with spirits or anything. There's no guarantees.
So were you absolutely terrified the first time that you had an experience like that?
Absolutely, so much so it never left my mind. So that happened. Of course, you have the fear. Your first instinct is run.
Yeah.
But like, that's the first thing is get me out of here. But like that, it stayed with me. And then years later, I had seen an ad and I went off with another group, and like that started going into it. And then life changes and evolves. And my own mum, she was a total skeptic. After showing her some of the footage and what we got, she was like, get out, go, do it. So I set up Púca Vogue then, and you see, my son is part of it, so we're 2 generations.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because he grew up listening and seeing and hearing all about ghost hunting throughout his life. So now there's a team of 5 of us.
Can I ask you about the gear that you need to kind of to do an investigation? What kind of stuff do you bring with you when you're doing an investigation for people?
Well, I always say, do you know what? You don't have to spend crazy money. What you have to do is think practically. So I use just Sony Handycam cameras, are the older style.
Yeah.
Because I find they're great with night vision and for especially picking up audio, because you're all the time looking for electro-voice phenomena, EVP, trying to capture an answer. Okay. So I use those, but that means after every investigation I have 50 hours footage to watch.
Oh my God.
So after the weekend, you can imagine I'm going to be sitting at home staring at the TV for a long time.
Yeah, you're Finn. Nobody's going to see you now till February.
No, between me and the team, we're going to be locked away. But that's one aspect. So with that, you're trying to capture visual. You're trying to capture an EVP through voice and audio.
Okay.
So, or even you would set up then trigger objects. So when I look at a trigger object, I look at, okay, can it make a noise or can it light up that it can be seen on the camera through night vision? And is it light enough that that low energy is used to move it? There's no point putting a big boulder stone there that they can't push,
yes,
you know?
Yes.
So trigger objects can either be towards a person or towards an era, anything once they're workable. And there's no science, there's no guarantees, it's all the time trying new things. It's all the time trying to come up with a new idea. Like, for example, I used a car in Redwood Castle and we placed it. And next thing, during the investigation, the car slides down off it. It didn't move all night.
Okay.
We've been there several times since and it's never happened again.
Wow. Okay. So these are the things that indicate to you that there's a presence there at least.
Correct, because you'd guide through it like at the start of an investigation, because you are locked down, you're locked in there for the night.
Okay.
You would explain what you have. So like you're there introducing yourself, then you're also explaining what you're working with. Yeah. So that if it's because you could have an intelligent spirit that will answer exactly what you're asking or try to guide you.
Yeah.
You could have residual. So like you could have intelligent, you could have residual, or just tied to the property, place or person. You just don't know.
Okay.
But we would guide by introducing ourselves by name and then explaining what we have with the workings of the room. And I say, let the castle guide you, let the location guide you, manor house, home, whatever it is.
Sure.
I always say, when you strip it back and turn off the lights, you're sitting there in darkness. Yeah. Now, a lot of people straight away get on edge, but when you settle with the room, then you're now getting comfortable. It heightens all your senses.
But then, right, let's say if a spirit makes themselves known or something, what's the next step then?
So then you're trying to find out, is it a man? Is it a woman? You're trying to get responses to build it like a conversation, only it's obviously happening at a slower pace. And I often say you have to leave a gap between your questions because it takes energy for a spirit or for a person or a man to answer you back. So you have to leave that gap, because I often find watching footage, your answer could come when the next person is talking, could be over their voice. Or laughter is a huge draw for energy. Laughter is huge. Whenever there's generally laughing happening, it's building the energy. There you go. But like, not everything is all fun and roses. Like, for example, I remember in one location, I had a camera facing, which was a Georgian house, do you know where they're under the street?
Yes, the basements,
section. So the camera would have been pointing, showing the stairs and the hallway. Yeah. So then that way, if anyone goes up or goes down, they're captured on camera. But nobody went up or down, and this clip is actually on our own Instagrams and socials. But you would actually hear a voice going, "Help me." You can actually hear the voice, and then nobody went down, nobody went up. And there you go, a male voice in an empty room. And that's what I love. I love when, because you can't take everything as paranormal. You have to go, well, look, that could be wind, it could be this.
Sure.
There might be a fan. But when you know no one is in the room, nobody's there physically, and you're getting a voice talking in that room, who is it?
PJ, can I ask you just before we let you go, because can you tell us about, because you've given us a couple of experiences that you've had there. What happened in Wicklow Jail?
So Wicklow Jail, I was there as part of a group. Now, I was in solitary confinement downstairs. There was people on the floors above.
Right.
So at the time, I could only explain it as in, do you know if someone is standing to you like nearly nose to nose, you can feel there's someone right in front of you?
Yes.
But yet you know there's not. There's no one there, bar the physical people. And the only way I can explain it to you is it's like they just put their head through mine. And it's the only time ever I've had that experience. And I won't lie, for a fat man, I ran. And I will tell you that straight out. But it was interesting, as the night went on, my cheekbone was getting hotter and hotter. And yet the rest of my face would be cold except that one section.
Oh my
And
God.
by morning, you could just see 3 marks in it. And it's the only time I've ever got a mark in a series. I mean, like that's happened.
So it was like you'd been head-butted kind of by a ghost.
Well, I believe there was brandings. So we were saying taking it in as in solitary confinement. If there was brandings, you're in that area.
Oh,
And
wow.
little did I know as well, somebody 2 floors up was like, go down and get PJ. Of course, thrown to the wolves.
Yeah, throw to the wolves, absolutely. PJ, it's fascinating stuff. It really is. And like,
It is, and I say to everybody, do you know what? Come and join us anytime. Skeptics alike. We're not an entertainment. We do it. I
Yeah.
always say, come and make it your own. We share everything that we capture. I always say it's what we believe. But it's up to everyone to make their own mind up.
PJ, I really appreciate you coming on today. PJ O'Sullivan, thanks so much. And if you have anything that goes bump in the night, be sure to contact Púca Vogue Paranormal Investigations.com. PJ, thanks so much for joining us.